a secretary. How was it? How did it look like?
The former president, who was my boss, was a very nice gentleman. He was peace-loving. He was very meticulous. That was the one thing I could say about him, because I was working as confidential secretary for him, and everything should be on time. He needs his work to be done on time, and anybody who comes around him should do exactly what he wants. You know, we should not delay in any of his work he's doing.
Thank you so much. She was a secretary to the late president, confidential secretary. And let us know, before you go quickly, you know, being a confidential secretary to a president, what does that mean?
It's meant a lot, because I have to be efficient. I have to keep it secret, because when you are doing the job of a president, you are working for the president. You have to be you have to do things that you don't sell out secrets outside, you know, because you have to do his confidential duties, you know.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, we also have somebody here who served as a press attaché to the president of the late president, Ahmad Kabba, former Kamara, one of our colleagues. You know, she was the one representing the SLBC at that time, the SLBS at State House, and she served President Kabba for several years. And she's also here today, witnessing the official launch of the Ahmad Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy. But I'm not a Jalo now. You know, how do you feel witnessing such an occasion?
I feel very good, and I think there can be no better tribute to the late president than this foundation, a foundation that will promote the work started by the president. As we all know, President was the architect of peace in this country. He sacrificed a lot to ensure we are where we are today. He was one person who was really committed to the development of this country, and he used to say there can be no development without peace. So his priority was to ensure we have peace in this country, and he worked very hard to ensure we achieve peace.
So as a how was it like, you know, as a press officer in the office of the president?
Well, I must say I had a very good working relationship with the president. It was somebody who treated me as a daughter, and for me, it was like a father to me. He gave me a free hand to work. It was never like those bosses who will tell you this is what you should do and this is what you should not do. He allowed me to do my job, and that helped me a lot, and I was able to create a niche even for myself with the program The President at Work, which was a very popular program that showcased the activities of the president. And as I say, I enjoyed working with him. He treated me as a daughter. He always protected me during my working days with him.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, we just got, you know, received another person, Van, the wife of the former president, Alhaji Dr. Ahmad Kabba. In fact, a few minutes ago, I was looking for you, wanting to know whether he is Ahmad or Ahmed. But I was told that he was actually Ahmad. Now, today, this launch, tell us, just give us a brief background to this foundation, Madam I.J. Kabba.
The foundation is called the Ahmad Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy, and we created it in memory of my late husband, for us to remind Sierra Leoneans about his legacy that we are proud of. So that's why we created this foundation.
So let us know exactly what this particular foundation aims to achieve.
We have a lot, but we are going to concentrate on peace and democracy and the empowerment of the girl child, because that was Tejan Kabba's vision, and that is what we as family, friends, we want to present to Sierra Leoneans today.
So now let us talk about the sustainability of this foundation. Tejan Kabba is an icon of peace and democracy in Sierra Leone, and is very key. So how do you intend to ensure that this foundation is actually sustained?
around IG Kabba. We have a lot of people that are in this foundation. Will not sit by and watch this foundation die. This foundation is here to stay. Said that we should not only limit the operations of this foundation to Sierra Leone, but to the sub-region. So this foundation will stay and will serve its purpose that it was created for.
Yes, and will serve its purpose. But the thing is that there are a lot of speculations as to who are going to attend this grand launching. So do we know? You know, those are to be expected. We know yesterday it was in the news, but former president of Nigeria is already here. And I was told also that former president of Liberia, Madam Salif, is also around. So apart from those, let us know who are the ones, or the other ones that will be attending this particular ceremony.
Well, as a foundation that is here, that is created in memory of a man that unified Sierra Leone, a man that was a symbol of national cohesion and national unity, we invited every facet of the society. We invited politicians, NGOs, government workers, Market Women's Association. We invited a host of people. And also we invited all the former vice presidents that are alive and that are here. We invited also former President Kuruma. I personally went to him to deliver his invitation. He promised to come. But as I speak to you, President Obasanjo is here, President Ellen Johnson Salif is here, Dr. Abdullahi Jane of the Mo Ibrahim Foundation is here. And also we have the President's brother, Abdul Kuruma from the International Court of Justice. He is also here. And you have seen, look at my paramount chiefs, we have everybody is here today.
Thank you so much. And he is wife of former President Alhaji Dr. Ahmad Tejan Kabba, Madam I.J. Kabba. Now, Chief Masuluku of Kono. In fact, he is the current president of the Council of Paramount Chiefs in this country, and he's also witnessing the launch of the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy. Now, Chief, why are you here?
I'm here to be part of the launch of this great foundation, and I'm not here alone. I'm here with the party representation of paramount chiefs from all other districts in Sierra Leone.
So, Chief, when you first heard about this launch, what came to mind?
What actually came to my mind that in life we all care about what we get in whatever office we find ourselves. But generally we are all being honored from what we give out to society and to mankind. For such a foundation to be launched is an appreciation of the legacy of one of the serving presidents of this country.
So, Chief, how will you support as Council of Paramount Chiefs? How will you ensure that this particular foundation, peace and democracy, the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy, is sustained in this country?
First of all, as paramount chiefs, one of our responsibilities to ensure law and order, which goes to peace and stability of our individual chiefdoms and respective chiefdoms. Anything that is being brought into this country that has to do with peace, the stability of this country and the democracy of this country, I think every paramount chief should embrace it, because it's already part of our sacred duties to perform to our communities.
Thank you so much. He is the President, Council of Paramount Chiefs in the Republic of Sierra Leone, Chief Masuluku. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Welcome.
Well, we continue to receive dignitaries, and we've just received also the person who is the chairman of the Public Service Commission of the Republic of Sierra Leone, a seasoned civil servant who served many ministries in this country, and he's now here in a different capacity as the man who oversees the public service in the Republic of Sierra Leone. Mr. Ba, welcome to this program.
Thank you for having me.
So how do you view this one, the launch of the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy?
It's a move in the right direction. I feel honored to be part of this program. More so when I was fortunate to serve under him as Director General from the year 2000 to 2003, when he was the substantive Minister of Defense. One good thing about the late man was that as a former civil servant, both nationally and internationally, he was very smart in identifying talents and at the same time nurturing young talents to ensure they join him in the governance of this country.
So now that a foundation is being launched or is to be launched shortly by no less a person than the President of the Republic, Brigadier Retired Julius Maada Bio. You know, what do you expect of this particular foundation?
Considering what I know about the current president himself, a man of humility, he believes in standards. In fact, his humility has gained a lot in the sense that he has engaged all and sundry to ensure Sierra Leone again enjoys good quality service delivery to our people. A foundation like this, launched by his very self, will go a long way to remembering good works, and I hope other people copy this kind of example.
Okay, thank you so much. He is an Ilba, and he is the current chairman for the Public Service Commission. Thank you so much. And he served under the late president and permanent secretary in the Ministry of Defense, Director General in the Ministry of Defense. Thank you so much. We're not going to talk to the civil society. We have here the Director Campaign for Good Governance. As all of us know, the civil society is described as the fifth estate in the governance of the state, and they are also very much instrumental in ensuring democratic good governance. And Marcella Sembasise is the director of the Campaign for Good Governance, and she's also witnessing the launch of the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy. Madam, how do you view this whole thing?
Just stepping into the podium brings me a lot of memories. You see, the way as Sierra Leoneans we handle history has been really problematic. So this is why we've not been able to learn from the past. But today has reopened a lot of emotions around. To understand that we have a president who cared about the nation. President Kabba was a fine diplomat politician. That's how I would describe him. The way he handled the transition from war to peace has landed us to what we are today. You know that we are able to have at least a nation. At that point in time, any other leader without the charisma that he carries would have thrown this country apart. 11 years civil conflict came to an end with his astute leadership, and we are very, very proud to celebrate his memory today.
So how was governance like during his reign, you know, as president of this country, you know, coming from the angle of good governance, you know, because that is what we are campaigning for. So how was governance during the presidency of Dr. Ahmad Tejan Kabba?
You see, one of the things we do as civil society is to levy constructive criticism, and that is something that catch my attention about him. You know, during the immediate post-war period, the youths were really, really desperate. They were highly expectant to see an immediate change in their lives, and so the young people expressed themselves using music and lyrics, and a lot of politicians were frustrated with the kinds of music that were going around. And you know, I love the way President Kabba at the time addressed the criticism. He said, but let's be let them sing once they not gonna bush. You know, the knack with which he addressed public and state issue is highly admirable. He is indeed a president that we trusted at the time, and you know, it was very difficult for varying factions to understand why he chose peace as opposed to war. But at the time, that was the best decision he made, and as a diplomat politician to drive this country to what was the real issue. It was peace and democracy that we wanted at the time. And so, Campaign for Good Governance feels very, very much proud to celebrate this day in his memory.
Okay, thank you so much. And she is the Executive Director of Campaign for Good Governance, Marcella Sembasise. Now, Dr. Babakane is a politician, and he is the leader and chairman of the PLP, that is the Peace and Liberation Party. And he's also here. Yesterday you said you were not invited, but today you are here. How did it come about?
Well, you see, the invitation was given to me by yes, exactly, because I could not get mine. You know, we are always welcome everywhere.
So now let's talk about the launch of the Ahmad Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy.
It's a historical moment, because this country should not forget the late president for the thing he did for Sierra Leone. In fact, I'll call him the 3R president, because he rehabilitated, he settled people, and he reconstructed the country. So I always refer to him. I always refer to the late president of blessed memory as a 3R president, because he rehabilitated, he settled, and he reconstructed the country. It's very difficult after war to settle all those problems. But one thing I admire him most is when I worked with Lieutenant Colonel Johnny Paul Koma, the Commission for Consolidation of Peace, how he was very warm with my erstwhile leader, taking into consideration that he was ousted by him. But when we came back, he was very warm with him and took him as his own son. I saw the relationship, and you can only have a statesman to behave like that, having gone through all the hurdles to come and embrace somebody who will remove him from power. I have great respect for him. Let God continue to rest his soul.
Thank you so much. Is Baba Kande Conte, the leader and chairman of the Peace and Development Party. Uri is a very senior member of the SLBC, and he served the late president Ahmad Kabba, and he's also here to witness the launch of the Ahmad Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy. Now, Ambassador, let us talk about this launch. Excuse me? What did you say? Let us talk about this launch.
Well, I think it's a very good idea, simply because Tejan Kabba did a lot for this country. And the major people wake up and become what they should be. Peace to this country. Tejan Kabba was one person. If he believes in you, he believes in you, and he keeps consulting you. I was one of those. Sometimes he will call and ask me, "This has happened. What do you think?" He was the kind of person who doesn't feel big to ask for something he thinks he wanted advice on. And I was giving the advice I can, and he took some of them he doesn't. And I expect that it happens. Not everything you say, somebody takes from you. But as I said, Tejan Kabba was kind, was good, he was listening to people, he was able to read people, he was able to understand people and deal with them the way they should be dealt with.
Okay, all right. I mean, he's Ambassador Bonhuri. He was a senior member during the presidency of Ahmad Kabba, and now he is special advisor to the president, Brigadier retired Julius Marabio. Well, journalists were also active in the peace process during the presidency of President Ahmad Kabba, and one of them is Sheikh Bawo. Sheikh Bawo is a household name in journalism in this country, and he is here to witness the launch of the Ahmad Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy. Now, Sheikh, welcome to this program.
Thank you very much.
And we are bringing you live commentaries from the SLBC. We're live here at the Bintumani Conference Center. Now, what do you have to say about this foundation?
Oh, well, basically, we are here to celebrate the life and time of a very great Sierra Leonean, a man who brought peace and democracy to the country. When all was lost, it was Tejan Kabba who brought hope to this country. So we are here, not so much for some of us, we are here to celebrate his life and time. Of course, in that way, we are also launching this foundation. So I'm happy to be here and be one of those that we contribute.
So how do you hope to see this foundation, moving forward years after now?
Oh, well, yeah, as you all know, the foundation is about peace and democracy. So with time, we would like to see democracy deeply rooted in this country. Of course, democracy without peace is no democracy. So we also like to have a peaceful coexistence among tribes, among people, among regions, So that is what we want to see, a stable democracy that is peaceful and progressive. That's what we want to see in this country.
Okay, thank you so much. He is Sheikh Bawa, a seasoned journalist, and now he serves as a chairman of one of the country's most strategic yes. Thank you so much. Now we have here also the leader or the presidential candidate for the NGC in the 2018 presidential election, and he is Dr. Kande Yumkela. Dr. Kande Yumkela is here to witness the launch of the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy. Dr. Kande, welcome. Okay, doctor. You're here witnessing the launch of the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy. You know, in your own view, what actually motivated your coming here?
What motivated me coming here is my respect for Kabba, for his legacy, and my knowledge of what he had to do to bring peace, stability, and development to Sierra Leone. Remember, he took over at a time when 50% of the population was displaced. He took over at a time when the nation was broken. It took a man of courage, a man of high morality, to bring this nation back together, to convince all of us that Salon for come first, that we must forgive. For me, that courage of a leader to ask people to forgive those who had done such bad atrocities for 11 years, you can't find anywhere. He's our own Mandela.
So now the foundation is going to be launched by no less a person from the sitting president, Brigadier General Julius Maada Bio. But the sustainability aspect of it is what is of concern to many. Now, how will you support, as a statesman yourself, you know, to ensure that this particular foundation is sustained in this country?
Well, first of all, let me commend His Excellency the President for agreeing to come and launch this. It shows that yes, we can celebrate the success of other leaders. So I believe by his own example, he is also setting another standard for the country. So I commend him for that. We look forward to him, myself and others, helping to mobilize resources for this foundation because it's non-political. It is for peace and democracy. Peace and democracy, you require a lot of efforts. So we are hoping that with this example that is set here today, that in fact many of us will work towards supporting programs and activities that will create opportunities for dialogue amongst people who are not happy, that will also build institutions that will consolidate our peace and democracy.
Okay, now Dr. Yumkela, you are very much strategic. You are a member of parliament and you are representing a whole party in parliament. Now, what do you think should be the responsibility of political parties, you know, for the long life of this particular organization, this foundation?
First of all of us politicians should emulate what Kabba stood for. The courage to foster peace and put our country first. And second, bury those things that divide us to avoid the tribalism. I believe that will be one of the best examples we politicians can set now to also reconcile for the sake of the nation. Apart from that, we can provide financial resources. We can talk to our people to remember him for what he did. It is not easy to bring peace. We see some tensions in the country now. It shows that, imagine after 11 years what it took. So one of the key things we politicians can contribute is to lead by example, just like Tejan Kabba did.
Okay, thank you so much. He is a leader. He was the presidential candidate for the NGC in the 2018 presidential election. Now, the civil society is also represented here. And we have here Charles Mambu. Charles Mambu actually started his civil activism during the presidency of the late President Ahmad Tejan Kabba. And today, he's witnessing the launch of the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy. Mr. Mahmoud, well, let's talk about this foundation. How do you view this foundation, and how do you intend to support this particular foundation to succeed?
Yeah, thank you very much. The launching of this foundation is very timely because the personality we are talking about, His Excellency former President Ahmad Tejan Kabba of blessed memory, was a forthright, a straightforward, a peacemaker, a supporter of democracy and human rights, and one who actually built the foundation for the thriving of civil society in Sierra Leone and beyond. So our presence here at the leadership level is a testimony that we are in for this foundation and will continue to support the legacy of President Kabba and the foundation as a large.
Okay, thank you so much. And he is from the civil society. Well, also here is to witness the launch of the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy is Ambassador or High Commissioner Joblel. He served as Deputy Defense Minister, under the late President Ahmad Tejan Kabba. Now, Mr. Joblel, you served President Kabba. He was the Minister of Defense, and you served as the Deputy Minister of Defense. So which means you worked with him directly. Now, tell us, before coming to the launch of this foundation, tell us, how was it like working as Deputy Minister of Finance, of Defense under the late President?
Even before working with him as the Minister of Defense, which he was, and I was the Deputy, I was also Sierra Leone High Commissioner to Nigeria. And for peace, the possibility of peace in Nigeria as we are enjoying today, Nigeria and ECOWAS played a very significant role. And so it was for me a transition from Nigeria as High Commissioner for 10 years and then coming as the Deputy Minister of Defense under President Kabba. He was a very easygoing person, and with his experience having worked in the international community, he knew exactly the road to peace. And also with as the minister, we worked closely, because whatever peace we had attained, it took more than one individual. He had a team that worked, especially in those difficult days.
You serving as the Deputy Minister of Defense, you were so strategic in the peace process. Even before the signing of the peace accord, he was taking somebody out to sign the ceasefire, which was not actually a welcome decision by some of his cabinet ministers.
I was one of the members of the Sierra Leone Peace Committee in Lome, which was headed by the Vice President then, in the person of Aberewa, and it wasn't easy, especially when the President said we should bring in the members of the RUF. It's not very easy. It was a very he was a diplomat's diplomat.
It was going to be about power sharing.
Well, people tend to be personal. When we are talking about peace, there's one thing: the moment that first shot is fired, as soon as it's fired, you have to go to the table at some point. So whenever we talk about there is a crisis, we should try for that shot not to be fired, because you can't win any peace through battle. It's through negotiation you win peace. So
every negotiation, there's going to be definitely the sharing agreement, and there are some people in this cabinet.
Well, a lot of people.
But if that was the case, we are going to lose that position.
Well, this is exactly why I say when you're looking at peace, you should look at it, the holistic sense of peace, in that somebody is going to lose, somebody is going to win. Therefore, for those who were selfish, I think Kabba had the wherewithal to make them come to their senses to say, look, we need peace, not for me, not for you. It's peace for all of us. It took us 10 weeks of negotiation in Togo under the leadership of the former Vice President Solomon Berewa, and then Kabba came in, even with us going to Kono, when I remember President Obasanjo was just mentioned it. It took us quite a while for us to meet Issa and his team in Kono. So it wasn't a day's work. It was a period of time with so many people. Kabba was at the head. So we should pray for the repose of his soul and for all those who passed away during those difficult times.
What is that, Mr. Blair? As a Deputy Minister of Defense under the late President, and after the Lome Peace Accord, you were also going to the provinces, rebel lines, to talk to the RAF, to understand the reason for them to disarm. At that point, were you really calculating the risk?
Well, look, when you're talking about peace, you should be ready to give up yourself as negotiating chip, because sometimes you go to the front and they were even telling you that they were going to take you as for ransom. But honestly, it was worth putting yourself at the line, even at the line of fire. There was so much that went through for peace to finally come to Sierra Leone.
Dr. Blair, you were the Ambassador Blair. You serving as a defense minister, during a war period. What does that mean?
Well, you see, peace doesn't come within a short period of time. It was right from the negotiation, which started even before Lome. There was a team which involved the ECOWAS president, who was the former president of Mali. All of them, including President Obasanjo, came and we flew to Kono. That was where it started. I remember President Obasanjo telling one of the rebel leaders, Issa, he should stop calling himself general. As long as he was there, he was the general. He is in control. So it was not something that happened over a day. And we should also check the people of Sierra Leone. That was very, very important, that as we were going, we took the Sierra Leoneans along. Otherwise, if they were not part and parcel of the negotiation, it wouldn't have succeeded. So whatever you're doing when it comes to peace, we should take along. And we had a very good captain who steered the ship in the person of President Kabba.
Okay, thank you so much. And he is High Commissioner Jubilel. He served as Deputy Defense Minister under the late President Ahmad Kabba. Well, Sheikh Tejan was also a very strategic clergyman during the presidency of Dr. Ahmad Kabba, and he's here today witnessing the grand launch of the Ahmad Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy. Sheikh Sila, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
So what do you think? How do you feel? Witnessing the launch of the Ahmad Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy today at the Bintumani Conference Center here in Freetown.
I feel very proud and I feel very sad in the losing of blessed man like Dr. Ahmad Tejan Kabba, because I know him is a man with unity, man of faith, man of truthful. I know him is man of accepting something give benefit to Sierra Leone, because I know him. I travel with him to Lome, Togo for the peace process, and also start traveling with him to part of the world, like so many countries there, like Jordan. I went with him. When I know him personally, and know him is a faithful man, very faithful man.
So as leaders in the faith, in the Muslim faith, how do you intend working with this foundation for sustainability?
I so know that when we work with this foundation, we will reap something benefitable for this country forever. Because I know him, his foundation, which he laid for the imams, we enjoy it up to this blessed time. We enjoy the foundation that he laid for the imams in this country. because I am a member of Sierra Leone Muslim Congress mission. I know him definitely. This man of faith, a man of dignity, a man of peaceful man anyway. Because one time he told me that we will never see peaceful fullness, and we never see sensible war. This is the Imam. This is Dr. Ahmad Tejan Kabba.
Okay, thank you so much. He is Sheikh Tejan Sila. He was very much active during the presidency of the late president Ahmad Tejan Kabba. Now we have here somebody, in fact, one of the most important workers, who worked with the late president, and he is Albert. Yes, Albert. And Albert was yes. Preparing food for the president, is not an easy task. And Albert here was the one who was performing that function. Albert, how was it like, cooking for our late president?
Well, it's not an easy task. And you have to be very careful whatever thing you do.
And speak in a language you are much more comfortable with.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it is Creole,
okay.
How do you feel, when you cook for the president?
It was a very hard task for me, and I'll be very careful what I do and what I do for the power and everything like that.
But you don't ever cook for the president to say this soup is not sweet today?
One day, they always appreciate what I do for them.
So like, Mama will be the appetite?
Absolutely, yes. They can get good appetite for food. Yeah.
So anytime we this one, we eat it all?
They eat all. And where will they go out, chef? I'm the person where they go and they taste the food before they eat them.
They taste the food?
Yeah.
So must not hide the trust you?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
So the day when you say the pardon guy, how you feel?
Well, to start with, from when he be president-elect till they die, I mean at the last, I would say the last man standing. I mean, can go London where been sick, till we come back for the 3 months, till they die, I've been there with them now.
So it's like nothing the way with the president. You get time left for your family.
Of course, yeah.
Mama Wina, Mami Kabba.
Yes.
You get time for.
He gets work in London. We can go in the house to himself. Go send them. Then when they can count down self, mommy self can come and count them.
So like when the president would die, we understand say we are already doing some. Let's not nothing for that.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, I've been getting me. I've been really.
So let's talk about the foundation. What do you feel about this foundation?
Well, it's very nice, because this kind of foundation, in fine for law, will help the needy and the girl child. That waiting.
I understand so one point your sister and Simbi.
Simbi, yeah.
Yeah, my sympathy.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, in Albert, in one part of the people that maybe they work with the president in personal steward and also in chef. Thank you so much, Albert. Well, we are bringing you live comments. Broadcasting Corporation Television from the. Let us not join. Our the. I've just been speaking to people who worked with the president, and some of us who did not work with him, but they really know how the former president was, how he governed this country. So let us not join the start of the ceremony at the Bintumani conference. Thank you so much. This is the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation, and I'm Sheikh.
Chief Minister of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Also welcome to the stage the Honorable Victor Bokaifo, former Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Following straight in his footsteps. Give him a big hand, Solomon Ekuma Berewa. Baba Isi Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, we now welcome the Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Mohamed Jude Jallow. Thank you. It is now my singular honor, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome to the stage Her Excellency, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former President of the Republic of Liberia. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we be upstanding to usher in the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, His Excellency, Dr. Julius Maada Bio. Thank you. This program is now called to order. And let me start by inviting the Reverend James Boykoka to kindly lead us in Christian prayers.
The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Almighty God, from whom all thoughts of truth and peace proceed, kindly we pray in the hearts of all the true love of peace, and guide with your pure and peaceable wisdom those who take counsel for the nations of the earth, that in tranquility your kingdom may grow forward till the earth is filled with your knowledge of your law. God, our deliverer, defender of the poor and needy, when the foundations of the earth are shaken, give strength to your people to uphold justice and fight all wrong. We ask all this through Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Let me now invite Sheikh Usman Bangura, Chief Imam of Gaddafi Mosque Poti, to lead us in Muslim prayer.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض ربنا ما خلقت هذا باطلا سبحانك فقنا عذاب النار. ربنا إنك من تدخل النار فقد أخزيته وما للظالمين من أنصار. ربنا إننا سمعنا مناديا ينادي للإيمان أن آمنوا بربكم فآمنا. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. ربنا وأتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد. ربنا آمنا في بلدنا سيراليون. ربنا آمنا في بلدنا سيراليون يا نعم المولى يا نعم النصير. ربنا واجعل سيراليون ركعا سخاء مطمئنا في ربوع سيراليون وعلى أرواحها إنك سميع الدعاء. ربنا علف بين قلوب الشعب السيراليون واجعلهم مطمئنين في بلدهم في كل آن وحين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. بظاهر فاتحة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Sheikh, may Allah accept our prayer. His Excellency Dr. Julius Madabio, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Her Excellency Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, Dr. Mohamed Jude Diallo, former Vice Presidents, Honorable Victor Fo, Honorable Solomon Ekuma Berewa, Chief Minister and Ministers of Government here present, Mrs. Aissatou Jabi Kabba, Founder and CEO of the ATK Foundation, Ambassador Dr. Abdullah Jane, Regional Representative of the Mo Ibrahim Foundation based in Dhaka, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Honorable Members of Parliament, our worship, the Mayor of Freetown Municipality, our international guests, our religious leaders, Board of Trustees of the ATK Foundation, and members of the committee, our very distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I hope we accept these as our protocol of the House for this evening. And to avoid unnecessary waste of time, all speakers are permitted to stand on that protocol and proceed from there. Let me welcome to the stage Chairman of the Committee Working Group for the ATK Foundation. So please welcome all of us. Ambassador Ali Bangura, please.
Good evening, everybody. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol as read out by Pastor Sulidarabi. His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio, Her Excellency Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former President of the Republic of Liberia, Honorable Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, former Vice President, Mrs. Aissatou Jabi Kabba, founder and CEO of the ATK Foundation, Ministers of Government here present, Ambassador Abdullah Jane, Regional Representative of the Mo Ibrahim Foundation, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Honorable Members of Parliament, our worship, the Mayor, the municipality, religious leaders, Board of Trustees of the ATK Foundation, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greetings and felicitations from the National Planning Committee of the President Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation. I am delighted that you have all been able to prioritize the ceremony for which we have chosen you singularly and collectively to be present here to witness and be part of making history in our beloved country. This day has not come by as a coincidence, as it has been anticipated for quite some time, and the planning to ensure that it's historic and worth observing has been very long. The preparation has been full of hard work, yet very inspiring. This event has been planned to immortalize one of us who was someone that made substantial personal sacrifices to ensure that Sierra Leone laid the foundation of the late President Alhaji Dr. Ahmad Tejan Kabba. The late statesman was a fine Sierra Leonean who will be posthumously recognized and eulogized today, as will be manifested in the planned activities during this launching ceremony. Your Excellency and distinguished invited guests, I want, on behalf of the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation, to assure you that you will be treated to an exciting evening, during which all of us will be making history while indirectly nursing the seed of peace and national unity
which we also very much treasure in Sierra Leone, the land that we love. I thank you very much for your attention. Please permit me, before stepping down, to just remind or inform certain personalities that will be responsible for the issue of pledges when we come to that part of the program. Ambassador Kode Dabo, Ambassador Samura, and Alhaji Dr. Sheikh. I want you to take note that you will be responsible for going around and accepting pledges from our distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now invite Mrs. Esther Wilson Kamara to introduce to us the chairman for this evening's occasion.
Excellencies, standing on existing protocol, it is a pleasure for me to introduce the chair of this evening's event. Professor David J. Francis serves as the Chief Minister of the Republic of Sierra Leone of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation for the purposes of the Commonwealth Heads of State and Government meeting, Commonwealth Summit in London, 18th to 20th April 2018, and the state visit to the state of Qatar, 2023 April 2018. Professor J. Francis was the head of Department of Peace Studies and director of the Elnora Ferguson Center for African Studies at the University of Bradford. He served as Commissioner for the UK Commonwealth Scholarship Commission and held the UNESCO Chair of African Peace and Conflict Studies at the University of Bradford. He holds a PhD degree from the University of Southampton, United Kingdom, Diploma in Law, Development and Social Justice from the Institute of Social Studies, The Hague. Professor Francis has published extensively with 9 books and more than 50 journals, articles, book chapters, and commissioned policy papers. Some of his published work include African Peace Militaries, War, Peace, and Democratic Governance, Routledge, 2016, edited. When War Ends in Africa, Building Peace in Divided Communities, Ashgate, May 2012, edited. Professor Francis has consulted widely for key UN agencies, ECOWAS, African Union, and some African governments. I now introduce to you the chairman, Professor Francis. Thank you.
Thank you for that introduction. Your Excellency, retired Brigadier Dr. Julius Maada, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and please permit me, Your Excellency, to say a warm congratulations on your award of honorary doctorate. You definitely deserve it. Dr. Julius Maada. Your Excellency, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former President of the Republic of Liberia, and following the directive of the MC, please permit me to stand on existing protocols. Good evening, and welcome to the formal launch of the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation for Peace and Democracy, 6 years after the death of President Kabba. This evening, we're here to recognize and celebrate the life and legacy of one of the greatest Sierra Leoneans in the modern history of Sierra Leone. The British journalist K. Whiteman, writing in the London-based The Guardian newspaper in April 2014, has this to say about late President Kabba. He is undoubtedly the father of peace in Sierra Leone and helped to restore democracy in Sierra Leone. Kabba undoubtedly has a place in history, end of quote. This perhaps is the most singular contribution of the late President Kabba that he is nationally and internationally recognized for. Because, ladies and gentlemen, to mediate, to secure and maintain peace in a war-ravaged and divided country like Sierra Leone at that time was the most difficult job in the world. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to bring peace to Sierra Leone, late President Kabba had to make difficult and unsavory compromises. He was loved and hated for the compromises that he had to make to bring peace to Sierra Leone. But as a true statesman, he was truly and singularly committed to bringing peace to Sierra Leone at all costs. This is why in Sierra Leone today, late President Kabba's reputation remains high. And that is why before his death, he was in very high demand from the international community, constantly asking him to lead ECOWAS, African Union, Commonwealth election observer missions. In a privileged conversation I had with him after his African Union election observer mission in Kenya in 2007, he said to me, "My young professor, I'm now tired of all these international travels and missions. I just want to retire now, to rest and to write my memoirs." As a true statesman, that's exactly what he did. He retired from national and international engagements and found time to write his very impressive and informative book entitled Coming Back from the Brink. I had the privilege of writing the foreword to his memoir in 2010, and I commended his courage to give his own account of his stewardship beyond the speculation and controversies about his leadership and his tenure in office as President of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Your Excellencies, it was because of his international recognition as a peacemaker that the University of Bradford in the United Kingdom awarded him in July 2006 the prestigious and globally acclaimed honorary doctorate for peace. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, his commitment to peace was remarkable, because only a true statesman and a patriot can do what he did after his SLPP party lost the elections in 2007. He quietly contacted me in London and raised concerns about the possibility and negative effects of post-election tension, and suggested that to maintain the fragile peace and give the new APC government time and space to settle in governance, that it was good to find a place abroad for the SLPP presidential candidate who had lost the elections to go out, rest, and write his memoirs. The University of Bradford again stepped in and invited Mr. Solomon Derawa to the University of Bradford as a senior visiting research fellow for 3 months. The time Solobi spent in Bradford, UK, gave the APC government of President Nkrumah the time to settle in governance. It provided time for Solobi to write his own book, and by the time Solobi returned to Sierra Leone, the Telegraph newspaper in Bradford carried the headlines, "Wise Solomon Returns to Sierra Leone." Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the efforts made by the late President Kabba to build and maintain peace in the post-election period, even when his own political party lost the election, was because of his singular commitment to peace as his only legacy to Sierra Leone. This is the hallmark of a true statesman. Your Excellencies, we are gathered here not only to recognize and celebrate the work of a great statesman, but also to share the lessons of the principles and values that he stood for. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one immediate lesson to learn and to share from late President Kabba's legacy is the encouragement to all former presidents, former vice presidents, former political leaders to make the time to write their memoirs. A book that gives a credible account of their own stewardship in their own words. Late President Kabba and former Vice President Solomon Berah, another astute statesman, they have done so. Late President Sheikh Stevens' memoir, What Life Has Taught Me, is a very good account of his life and times in his own words. Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleff's book, This Child Will Be Great, gives a remarkable account of the life of Africa's first democratically elected woman president. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, late President Kabba is back from the grave and is telling us all that former presidents, former vice presidents, and former political leaders must make the effort to find time to write a book to give an account of their stewardship in their own words. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we're here tonight to recognize and celebrate the legacy of a great statesman. And the foundation will be a living testimony to carry on the work and values of late President Kabba. But what type of foundation will the Ahmed Tejan Kabba Foundation be? I am privileged to have attended the first meeting in 2014 at the home of the late President Kabba on how to establish a foundation in his memory. Your Excellencies, permit me for once to wear my academic hat for a moment and to say that there are 4 types of foundation that are globally known. The first type is the altruistic foundation, established primarily and committed to the well-being of others, like the Nelson Mandela Foundation. The Mo Ibrahim Foundation comes to mind as well. The second type is the self-glorification foundation, established to glorify a personality that has money and resources to spend, and they therefore tag their name on any local, national, and global issue or just to make themselves look good. The third type is the money-making or rent-seeking foundation, established to enrich individuals, groups, or particularly named families. And the fourth foundation is the political platform foundation, often established by individuals or groups of only for political opportunities and political opportunism. So what type of foundation will the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation be? Will it honor the legacy of late President Kabba only history will judge. But let me say, and I have no doubt, that the Ahmad Tejan Kabba Foundation has a unique opportunity to make a meaningful contribution to Sierra Leone and impact on the lives of Sierra Leoneans. I thank you. And now, as chair, it is my honor to invite Mr. Chukwu Emeka Chikeze to moderate the recollections, reflections, and inspirations of late President Ahmed Tejan Kabba. You're welcome on the stage.
Good evening, all. I wish also to stand on all existing protocols, but let me also take this opportunity to congratulate Your Excellency, Dr. Julius Maada Bio, on your recent award. And maybe be only the second person in public to address you in that way, sir. Mr. Vice President, sir, the last time we were on this stage, I tried my hand at Creole. As you rightly corrected my very poor Creole, I permit me to use English on this occasion. Now, as the chair has pointed out, we're here to explore and examine not just President Kabba's legacy, but what sort of Sierra Leone are we going to utilize to transform the country. I would ask for the chairs. What? They're here. Very good. And so, while we are going to celebrate and eulogize the late President Kabba, we are also going to mine what he has left, which is a national treasure. His legacy is material and resource for us to build a better Sierra Leone. And we are going to therefore hear from some of our contemporary leaders to understand how they are translating and utilizing and building upon President Kabba's leadership and legacy. So I have pleasure to invite onto the stage, and I do so in alphabetical order, Her Worship, the Mayor of Freetown, Mayor Yvonne Akisoya, please. Ambassador Haja Alari Cole, President, Eminent Women Peace Mediators, Sierra Leone. I do believe that Honorable Sarah Emerson Lamina is making his way. Is he in the hall? Because I've not been able to locate him. I know he was on his way. Honorable Sidi Tunis, leader of the Sierra Leone People's Party in Parliament, invite you to the stage. One more. And Honorable Kande Yunkela, leader of the NGC in Parliament. We invited all the parliamentary party leaders in Parliament, and we have with us those who have been able to honor the invitation. Mayor, that your answer was not succinct.